Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to VP4 Online. We're back for the second last match in this year's VP4 2020 World Straight Pool Championships, a semi-final match if you want to call it. And it's a one-loss side, or the last match obviously the one-loss side, and it's between the current champion, Semipro, against Cobra. It's an all English affair. And one thing I want to have a quick look at is the stats for this tournament. If we look at the average run stat, we can see that Semi-Pro is on 28, just over 28 per average run. Now that has obviously came down quite a bit because Semi-Pro has had the highest run of the tournament right from the off. However, ended up in the one-loss side, he's had a few innings where he's obviously not got to 28, which is, or not got any higher than 28, which has brought him right down. We've got Cobra, and I'm missing out Albinario because he's now out of the tournament. We've got Cobra on an average run of 33. Now, considering that Cobra, out of the two of them, has only got 761 points scored, his average is obviously higher because he hasn't scored as many, therefore he hasn't played as many matches. It might be due to a forfeit or something. I would need to look at that, but obviously Larry is there on 1,000 points because he went right through the winner's side. But the significant thing is that Larry, early on, and certainly his first match, didn't score very well. He's had his high run in his last match, I think it was 131. His average is 18. So out of the three players left, Cobra looks like the one that could be the one that's scoring more points. Now that's obviously just a stat that we're looking at. It could be different, but the biggest problem for Larry is he's way below any of these two guys for the average run, although he's got to the final. So today it's going to be a battle of the scorers, Semi-Pro and Cobra, and it could be a short match from that point of view. If either of them get in and get a score on the board, it could be quite a few. I mean, it could be a few short innings, 2 or 3 innings, and it's over. At least that's what it could be. Do you think the sound is very low? How's that? Is that any better? Let me know if the sound's any. It shouldn't be any different. Unless you want to look at the bottom of your stream and check that the volume level in the stream is actually higher. It could be it that's set low, but the sound should be okay. Let me know, guys, if it's anything different. The volume settings in my XSplit haven't changed. I double checked them before I started. Anyway, good afternoon and welcome everybody. We are almost on the nail. We should be about to go. The room should be going up. Both players have been here for a while. They've been in practicing. So if your volume level is low, it's maybe not my problem. It could be the stream that you're watching. Just check that the little volume level in the bottom left-hand corner, wherever it is, the slider is moved to the right. So the room is up. We're going in. And already, oh, wrong button. We're about to lag off. And again, the queue at the top hasn't appeared. I'm still puzzled by who's who here. The all-important lag, and the one in the top is 1, and that is Semi-Pro, so he's going to put Cobra in to bat, and let's see if he can get this break sorted out. He's going for the Semi-Pro safety break, 5 ball, lots of inside English. Oh, he's double kissed it, and he's left a couple of options on here straight away for Semi-Pro. Is the volume okay now? Mark, you're the one that said that the volume is very low. Have you fixed it? Or you maybe need to turn your hearing aid up? Well, I've moved the mic a little bit closer to my mouth. So just right from off the bat here before I forget, my crowdfunding appeal for my headset, which cost me $79.99, has been funded by two viewers. Mooncake made a contribution and Stevo UK made a contribution. So I've only got $59.99 to go to get them paid off, and thank you for that, guys. It's all gone to a good cause. So Semipro, he knows that he's going to have to, I mean both players know that, is stating the obvious. What's happened here? The Semipro studying the table, I think, or is he disconnected and he might be looking above? He might be doing the top-down view. There's your single top-down view for the day. I hope you enjoyed that. But yes, the pressure's on to score, even more vital in this situation. And the only thing that's worrying me, if I was in Larry's corner, waiting in this final, my main concern is whether Larry can last the distance, because he has struggled in two matches where he's got in, got a lead, and then he's began to lose his way to such an extent he got away with it against Albinario, and then any result could have happened. Well, I'm guessing Larry's maybe a couple of years older than me. He can't be that much in it. But he really lost the place quite a bit against Semipro. Semipro struggled as well in the end and couldn't quite get himself over the line. But that would be my main concern for this final coming up. Race to 300, that match between Larry and Semipro. It took 3 hours and at least 3 hours and 10 minutes for that match to go through. And in a race to 300, if it gets tight and we get a bit of safety and things going on, I mean, you could be looking at 3.5 hours, and you know, that's a lot of concentrating, especially for Larry, where he got that run of 131, and that was like a solid hour, really focusing on what you're doing, and then all of a sudden it gets broken up, and it comes to an end, and then of course you've got to keep yourself in it. Semipro got a 74 or something like that, and then it sort of just it come off the rail for both players. But Larry's sign of weakness is actually staying the distance during the match, which is even more vital that he gets a lead. I would then be thinking that he's going to struggle, as Semipro has done there, and it's all come to the end very quickly. The run is just 9. But well, Larry's had plenty of time to recuperate, but he needs to build up that stamina and focus. This is going to be Larry's best chance of winning one of these big tournaments. He's been at it for 20 years. And he's not going to get a better chance, but he's going to have to do it all the hard way. He's had to beat all the best players, all the strong players. And he deserves to get to the final because he had 2 great matches in his progress to the final. And both these players here can testify to that. in one way or another. But who's going to come out on top today? Cobra's got off the hook. He's going to feel that he's won a watch there, trailing by just 7. And of course, the major problem is that these balls are not sitting anywhere near nice for a break shot. Now, what's that 9 and 13 sitting like? Well, they're not set, so it's pretty ugly. I would think that'd be pushing the boat out for 4.5 hours for a race to 300. Not if you consider that somebody's bound to get some sort of run, but on the other hand, it could end up being tight, and players scared to make a move in case they let them in, and then it gets really, really bogged down, and it could end up like that for a while. I'd be surprised if there wasn't some sort of safety exchange somewhere along the line, but there's not really that many options for safety on this sort of table. And I don't think that's that great. He's going to have to probably check this cue ball to try and get it to come off the 2 rails into the back of the pack. I don't know whether he's trying to draw it in. Yeah, well, he's got a clip. How's his luck? That'll do. So, obviously the 6 ball is on now. What about that 12? Let's have a closer look at that 12 there. He's having a look at it, I think, himself. It's extremely tight. I mean, if you were right behind it like that, it goes no problem, but to actually land on it, to pot that, it's far too tight. You're bound to push it into the 1. Now, there doesn't seem to be anything set in any of these other balls lying in the cluster there. But he's done some damage. But I don't think he's got much luck here. Can he see the 4? Yes, he can. That's the only ball that's on. Now, let me just change that tab. There's that tournament bracket. Bring that up. Have a look at it and see when this this final deadline is. February the 5th. Right. So that would be, this is what, the 30th. So Sunday's the 31st, Monday's the 1st, Tuesday's the 2nd, Wednesday's the 3rd, Thursday's the 4th, and Friday's the 5th. Now, I would hope that it would be either Tuesday night, which would be fine, Wednesday, or early on Thursday, because I'm back at work on Friday morning. I hope they don't leave it till the last kick. So, Cobra has got rid of the deficit. You can have a little nudge into the cluster with the pot here. You've still got the ball up the table. You've got an 8 ball in the side rail that would be a good break ball. You've got the 11 there, which is at the head of the pack, I think. Well, that's actually not bad, that 11 ball. So he has a choice. It's always good to have a choice. If something goes amiss, you can always fall back on it. But whatever choice he makes, it's whether he's going to keep that 3 up the table to make it easier to get on the break ball, So there he's going to have to commit himself to take one of these out. It might be the 11 right now, in which case he's still got an alternative shot. He's still got the 10 ball sitting here on this left-hand side. That's in a good position as well. But at some point he's going to have to commit himself. And no doubt there'll be some people who have forgotten that this match is on. They may well be out shopping Saturday afternoon here in the UK. But if anybody that misses it and they're asking what's happened, don't tell them the score. Just tell them to go to my YouTube channel. They can watch it. Well, we now know what the break ball's going to be. It's going to be the 10. Good afternoon, Mr. Deanster, and welcome anybody else who's joined us. So this is going to be a little tricky. He's a bit straight in this 15. He's going to have to get the stun really firm here, I think, unless he's going to draw up. Yeah, he's going to draw up a wee bit. And that will do. It's maybe... Well, it's okay. He's going to catch the 5 and the 9. I think that's the 9 there. Or is it the 1? No, it's the 9. Let's check my little doobie's working. Well, Semipro, he'll be disappointed. He only got a run of 9. And Cobra is rapidly approaching his average run. He's just 13 away from that. I think, have you not got to click the little bell? Now that you mention it, Bedhead, I'm too busy reading the chat. Now that you mention it, he might not have a bloody shot here. That's he's going to have to play the combo. The 14 onto the, what's that, the 12? That is, I mean, that's amazing. Look at the way the balls are spread, and there's nothing on but that combo. And that's a good shot. That's a good escape. And now he's looking good. Yeah, I think, I mean, if you're a subscriber to the channel, I know that I've subscribed to a lot of guys on YouTube, but you have to click the bell on the channel as well, so you'll get a notification. If you don't click the bell, I don't think you'll get notifications of any videos. Unless you just physically go to the channel and double check. I think if you click the bell on my YouTube channel, certainly you'll get a notification. But then the annoying thing about that is you'll get notifications when I'm doing my truck driving and boring stuff like that. Yeah, if you look on YouTube, you'll see on my page, it's the same on everybody's page, but there is a bell which is the notification button that you press. So the run is 24. So this is Cobra's first contribution after his failed break-off shot again. Let Semipro in. Semipro failed badly by only getting 9. And at this standard now, and at this point in the tournament, 9 doesn't get the job done. And Semipro wondering when he's going to get another bite at it. Because Cobra has already got himself out a problem in this rack. He's got another slight problem, that 2 and 9. He may well have to pop one of them up the table. just to open that out. Now that 9 ball, let's have a close look. You see both of them, well the 2 obviously is out of the equation because it's in the pack, but the 9 looks to be the same. It looks to be interfering with the pack slightly. And if that's the case, then where is the break ball? Because if he's taking the 6 now, and the other thing is he can't take the 7, he would have loved to have been straighter on that 7. The problem with the 7 is he's going to scratch in that middle pocket, so he can't get rid of it. So he's now having to bail out on the 6 ball. He would have liked to have been over on the right hand side to take one of them down the table or up the table as we look. So this will get rid of the 2, and now he'll more than likely choose one of those 2 balls up the table to take one of them out. And I'm thinking it might be the 3 ball as a break ball, but again, it's an awkward ball to get good on. You have to be really accurate to get a good angle on that 3 to get into the back row of that pack. So it's already approaching the critical point, unless Cobra's convincing himself that that 9 ball isn't going to interfere with the pack. But even if it doesn't, it looks like it to me. Excuse me, it's very tight to get to. And then of course, how does he get good on that 3? Is it a straight roll through on the 9 like that to finish sort of there, and then pot the 3 and stun into the pack for the break? That's exactly what he's going to do, and this is where he has to get this pace right. He needs to be square at least on this 3 ball, maybe a tad slightly below it at worst, and that is not bad. That's not bad, but he's got to watch what he's doing with the cue ball here. This is always a tricky one. Cue ball spinning off that wall of balls, could have gone anywhere, but where it's gone will do, because he's looking straight down the 1. He can deal with that problem there, but he's probably going to have to draw back up the table if he plays that 1. Yeah. The danger with that 1 ball as well. Well, there's no. I think he's okay. I was going to say he might brush into the 7, but he looks okay if he's going to take it. The 7 will go on its own as well, so there's plenty of room there to deal with that. And now he can take the 2 if he wants to just improve that situation. His ideal position for that. The run goes to 35, and now Cobra's average will start going up on the stats. He's now gone higher than his average visit so far for the tournament. So all of those balls all go, the 8, the 1, the 6 and the 7. The problem's right in front of him, that 15 and the 13. But if he can get below the 12, and he's got a good opportunity to do that, if he wants to pot the 5 and sort of finish here, he can break them up. He's always got to be thinking about that. He could do something off the 1 here if he wants. And that's taking care of it. And, well, break balls in this situation don't look great. The 5 ball's not particularly ideal. The 8 ball looks the best bet, but again, I still always think that from that position you want to be here on the 8 ball. If you're going to go from out here on the 8 ball, you've got to get to that rail and back in. Well, my new subscriber during the week there was Inside Pool Magazine. I wonder if anybody's watching. Probably too early for those guys because I think it's based in the States, so it's like, you know, 9:20 in the morning, East Coast time. It's 6:20 California or West Coast time, Pacific time. And Larry's probably still in bed. So the run is 41. And where's the break ball? Now again, it would suggest that the 8 ball would still be the break ball because that 10 ball is perfect. You know, just to drop it in, leave the cue ball sort of there, pot the 10, get into the pack like that. So there's an easy path to get on that break ball if it's going to be the 8. Everything's set up for it. Now, if that's the case, this could go slightly wrong if he blocks himself out in the 11. No, he's going to take the 10 now. And is he going to fall inside on the rail? Yep. Inside on the rail on the 11 allows him just to stun the 11 in, but not let the cue ball squirt away too far. He'll probably just draw back off it slightly. He's gone too straight, I think. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to have to dig into this very deeply to get it a nudge on that pack. He doesn't want to squirt past it. He should hit the 14. Yeah, it was just glanced the 14 cue ball running anywhere. He just didn't get perfect on it there, but he's still in play. Now he's got to be careful, but he can pot the 1 and he can run through for the 3 or the 2 because he's got nothing at the bottom here that's easy. The run is 48. Well, the question is most certainly going to be asked of Semipro as to whether he's going to be able to produce a response, being the defending champion, the man with the highest run in the tournament. Everything's expected of him if he gets a chance, but it doesn't matter who you are, what reputation you've built up or anything. It's whether you can do it, whether you can hold your nerve and do it at the right time. He had umpteen chances against Larry and he didn't get there, but he's going to have to produce it if he gets a chance. If anything, just to keep himself in the game, get himself back into it. Well, the 9 ball is certainly, if it goes, it might be a bit tight. Oh no, it is a bit tight. It's just a wee bit dodgy to be playing it from that angle because it's so easy just to push it and clip that 14. It's a bit dangerous to be risking that, although if you can get a wee bit better on it, you could still use it to disturb the cluster. And of course we have, what's that up the table, the 12 ball. Well, it could turn out to be what I thought it might. it's certainly going to take that pattern to start with, that we might not have many innings in this match. It could be just 3-4 innings maximum and the match is over. Might not even be as many as that. Now, what's he got himself into here, because he's in no shape on the 2 ball. I don't know whether he played to get up onto the 9, but he's got a combo on the 14, which is what he's going to call. It looks pretty good. Now, what you have to do is just totally focus on the 6 ball and the line that you're going to push it, because if the line holds for the 6 ball, then the 14 has to go in, and he's missed it. And he had a wee snatch at that, and the run ends in 53. And so Semipro has got his chance, but he's got a deficit to make up first, and he's going to be aggressive here. I don't think he'll have a better chance off this than just to run into them off the 9. And he's got to be careful with this one as well, if he's going to cut back that 15. That cue ball's going to run into the 5, and there's no telling where it might end up. Well, I don't count the break shot as a visit. I count what happens in the game. So basically, we've had 1 innings from both players. Semi-Pro's innings of 8, and Cobra's first visit of 53. But Semi-Pro certainly doesn't want to be stalling on single figures each visit. That's going to get him nowhere. That 6 ball is right on the corner of the pack. Now that's created a problem, because he's now blocked the path to get to the 6, and he's going to have to take it out. Well, he's going to have to rethink here. And the 11 ball will now be the break ball on the side rail. Looks a bit high in the pack though. Yeah, he's right parallel with the point of that pack. And the 14 ball's not great. And he's going to have to come down this right hand side. I think he's the wrong side of the 14. So he's got to make sure he gets right up to that middle pocket in the middle of the table. He wants to be up in this region here. He needs to get there, and that will do. He's got into the break zone. So the critical one. Now watch this cue ball go up the table. If it doesn't get it solid onto a ball. Oh, and he's missed the pack completely. Well, I think he should have played that with a wee bit of inside left, surely, to punch it into the pack. And that's another failure, and he's going to scratch. That's another failure for Semipro. 2 visits. And all he's got is 17 on the board. And, well, Cobra's got an easy safety. He's looking at the pack for something, but I don't think he's going to be risking anything silly. He's got a lead, so what you want to do is consolidate that by playing a good safety. punch that 3 ball up the table and lock the cue ball in behind the pack. Well, he's going to have to miscall that. 3 ball gets respotted at the back of the pack. Semipro just over hitting the safety. That again, just a bit too much weight on it. Much better shot if he was closer to that end rail. So Cobra looking for the thin edge, and that's the sort of hit that you have to get in straight pull. As thin as that, where all you're going to do is scratch a ball and do very little disturbance and get that length in the cue ball. This is as good a safety shot as anything in this game. If you can get it right on that end rail. But Semipro has now gained the advantage. Well, welcome to, again, any latecomers who may have joined us. This is a semi-final match to see who plays Larry in the race to 300 final. And it's not going too well for Semipro so far. He can only warm up, let's put it that way. He can't get any worse. Ball not getting to a rail, so 1 away for Cobra. And now we're going to get a wee bit of safety going on here. Now what has Semipro spotted? Well, he's taking a big risk here. He's still got a big deficit on here, and he's taking a big risk. It's so easy just to push that 12 to the end rail. You push the 12 to the end rail and go in, but he's gone for it. He's taking the risk, but he's got to score now that he's taking the risk. Now, what about that 10 and 9? I don't think they're anywhere near set. No, they're nothing. Well, he's going to have to take the 2 now. Big break shot to get these disturbed. Pressure on it, unless he spotted something else. I think he has. Let's have a look. Oh, I dead set. Can't miss it. 2 ball going over the middle, so he's got a bail out there. Can cut the 6. Now, the target here for Semipro is to wipe out that deficit on this visit. And we've got a proper mess down at the bottom of the table here. There's nothing that's ideal. The 5 ball could be the break ball, but it could be the 9. But it's unlikely that these balls are going to remain where they are. Things are going to be moved probably. On the cue ball. Is he going to have a shot? Is he going to have a shot? That 15 ball is tight. He's called the 6. He's looking at the 9. Or he's looking at the 10. The 10 it is. Onto the 6. Well, he doesn't want to be as snatchy as Cobra was with his shot for the combo. And that's gone in at the right pace. Oh dear, he's got that all wrong. He was playing that with loads of inside, and he has got it way offline. He didn't pick the hit point very well on that 9 ball. Again, it's a visit of only 7 for Semipro, and he's going to feel the pain from that visit. And he's still, well, it's going exactly the same as it was going in his match against Larry, where he was getting these chances, but he just could not score to take him over the line, and he's failing at the wrong time here. Well, the difficulty in that shot was not the pot. The difficulty was the inside he was putting on the cue ball to get it to nudge into the ball above, and he got the hit point all wrong on the object ball to start with, pushed it right into the rail, way offline, and this could be painful. And I think that Cobra may well be leaving this 5 as a shot, because he's going to have an easy shot to get on the 5. Just leave the cue ball where the 4 ball is, so he has to get high enough up the table. Needs to keep going. As long as he's staring into the 4, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. He needs to make sure he gets out the pack though. And now he's fine. But remember, how many times have I said this? It's the flat back pack. Willie Thorne's nemesis in snooker. Never a good pack to break the balls. But they've opened perfect, and the cue ball has lain stone dead with a choice of 2 shots. And it couldn't have broke much better, although he's going to have to pick his way through the way these 4 balls, or these 8 balls are all sort of lined up on one another. Might just do a wee nudge there, yeah. And that's just done enough to open things up a bit better. And he's also got a decent break ball. That 8 ball's a good break ball. The 6 is at the top of the pack as well. The 1 is just outside the pack. It's tight though. So he's got immediate choices. Oh. Yeah, that's me hitting the wrong button again. So good choices. Even that 11 ball in the side rail on the right hand side would be passable as a break ball. Because again, you have to maybe rethink things depending on where the cue ball ends up. Well, Cobra's he's already above average in this match so far with his first visit of whatever it was, 53. Of course, he lost a point from not getting to a rail, so that took him back to 52 in one of his visits. But as long as Cobra keeps getting to his average for the tournament, then he's going to run away, and it just multiplies the pressure in semi-pro to produce something. And sometimes the harder you try, the more things go wrong. I mean, he took a risky combo on at the start of that visit, and then it all went pear-shaped. with that cut that he played with loads of inside English. Did not pick the point on the object ball, and that's what happened. It looked like a terrible pot, but it was caused by what he was doing with the cue ball, or attempting to do with the cue ball. So now we've got, I think, the 11 ball up the table, 7 ball up the table. We've still got a 1 ball that is very favourable as a break shot, and especially when you can get to off the 7, bring the cue ball out to here, play your break shot like that, right into the pack. Oh, and he's nudged the 1 away. The 1's still not bad. It's just on the corner now. And he may well have to take the 7 and the 11 here. Now that he's going to that top end of the table, there's no real reason to keep that 11 ball up there. If it is the 11, what is it, the 13? That's the 11 on the right side. It's the 13 that's up there. So he'll now get rid of the 13. Now there's a slight problem. He's got to be careful with this shot, because if he does pot the 13, he can run down the table here and have nothing on. And he's going to have to take his possible break ball, and it's now more than likely going to be the 11 as a break shot. But he's still got a good ball to get onto that 11. I mean, if he takes the 8 into the middle, or takes that 2 as his last ball, 2 ball into the middle, run the cue ball through to sort of here, that would do as his break shot. Now, what's he done here? Well, it looks as if he's now committed to the 8 as a break ball. Because where he's finished now, it's going to be, has he gone far enough? Yes, he has. He's just the left side of the 2, which means he's going to run up the table, but not too far. If he goes too far, he's going to leave it really awkward, and that will do. And so this visit goes to 20, and he's stretching away from Semipro. So it's going to be a tall order and a big ask, should Semipro get another chance. And Cobra's off and running again. He can't get to the 15. He can pot the 7 certainly, but that is a problem immediately there on the right side. And there's not an awful lot available here. It looks better than it actually is. There's not a lot available. And that's helped it slightly. Now if he pushes that 6 ball, it might go towards that 15. Well, it would have if he'd been a bit more aggressive, and it would have opened him up there. He's now created more of a problem on this left-hand side. He should have maybe pushed that through a wee bit more aggressively, just to sort of try and break them open a bit, because the path the 6 ball was going to go towards them. Yeah, all he's done is just added another ball to the collection. So it's going to be interesting. The other option, of course, would be to get here on this 15, or maybe sort of He might go from there, not the 15, the 7, pot the 7 off the rail and into them. That's another option he might have. But he's running out of options to do that. And he could go up the table off this 12. And that's a good shot. Has he gone far enough though? No, he's gone dead straight. If he had fallen there, if he had landed there, he would have been fine. He would have potted that, could have broke him. He's ended up poker straight in the 7, so again, he's having to rethink. But running out of options. And why he didn't play that other shot a bit more aggressively, I don't know. Because you then get down to the nitty-gritty where you've no chance to get there. And he's going to try it off the 3. He has to get this similar shot to what Semipro was doing. And that has taken care of it. He's got an easy combo in the 9 and the 15. No worries there. He can even get to the 15 clean without going via the 9. If he just pots the 1 and just stuns down, he can take out the 5. And he may well leave the 9 as a break ball. He could leave the 7 as a break ball, so he's got choices again and everything's looking good. So just one shot has just changed it and opened it up. And he's going to take the combo. And that, well, it's difficult to decide what he's decided here. 5 ball and the 13 ball behind the pack. That 7 ball, where is it in relation to there? It's still got a chance as a break ball. And it's easy to get to the 7 again off the 6. So I would reckon it's going to be the 7 ball. You know, drop the 6 into the middle. Get the cue ball through to sort of there. Pot that 7, stun into the pack. And so he wants to be put as straight as he can on this 6 ball. And that's perfect. He can get where he wants to be on this 7. And he wants to be going through 3-4 inches here. That will do. He's going to get a big hit in the pack here. And already Cobra's back up to his average. He's over his average. So it's another visit of 34 and counting. And the lead is getting very big. Cue ball running up the table. He's back in business. He's got plenty of choices. And he's now on 87. And the lead is 64. And that's asking the main question now of Semipro. You've had 2 or 3 goes at it. You haven't got there. You're going to be running out of chances to be able to make inroads in this deficit, whatever it might be, because who knows what it might be. It might be all over. He might have played his last shot. And it'll look even more massive once Cobra gets to that 3 figures. Well, I think he's went through a bit too far there. I presume he played for the 4. And of course, again, it's more than obvious where the problem lies. That 11 and 8 ball with an adjacent 10 ball to make it easy to get them disturbed. We've got we've got a very awkward 6-ball on that right side rail. He has to get somewhere on that 6-ball. And that is not one you want to be taking up the table. You don't want to be taking that 6-ball from here. You want to be there to take that 6-ball out. You don't want to be nudging it near that middle pocket. Could easily catch the point. And if I was him, I'd be rolling straight through and getting right on the rail. And again, he's thinking on his feet. Well, I don't know why he's looking at anything else, but if that was me, that 6-ball would be gone right now. I think he's just gathering his thoughts, but he shouldn't be taking anything else other than this 6. It's just annoying me seeing it sitting there, and that's taking care of that trouble. Well, I know what you're saying there, Bedhead. We know that. But the problem is, though, if he's lucky, he might get one chance between 93 and 150, where Cobra is at the moment. He might get one chance. And that is it. It's backs against a wall. It's no miss. Simple as that. You have to get the luck in the break. He's going to have to put a sequence together that's going to help him survive in this tournament, because right now he's dead and gone. Cobra is 55 away. And 55 is not a lot away when you're already on 44 and counting, and all the balls are on. Good break ball sitting there. Needs to get up the table. Get rid of the 9. He can get rid of the 11. Or get rid of the 14. Stun across if he can. Well, he's just not got there. He's not got there. That's one option gone. And now it's a bit tricky. It has just gone a bit tricky here. Now this time he's made sure he's got there. He's going to have to, again, get the pace in this nice. Just around the corner. He doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball. He just has to pot this and make sure he goes far enough over to the right so that he's staring down that 9-ball into the left middle pocket. Oh, he's overhit it by quite a margin. And now it's even more tricky because the cue ball's running, and the angle he's got, that cue ball wants to run into that, is it the 10-ball? Yeah, he's going to have to dig into this cue ball to take evasive action here on this 9 so that he doesn't hit the 10. Now, he's going to have to draw away from that 10, make sure, so he's going below the equator. He has to get this clean and avoid the 10 at all costs, and he hasn't dug into that enough. I don't know why he couldn't see that. Well, that was a poor one from Cobra, because it was staring you right in the face that you're going to hit that 10. So you have to play a draw shot to get away from it, and then just hope you get up the table somewhere decent to try and play the break. But he's clipped to 10. The run is 48. He's got to treble figures or triple figures, and he's only 50 away from home. But the run's going to end on 48. But Semipro ain't going to have much when he gets to the table. Well, he is, because Cobra's got that all wrong. Big time. And that was really poor as well. What's Semipro going to have? Well, he's going to be having a good look at that 10, because he just kills the cue ball stone dead. He's going to be able to pot the 10 and smack these all over the place. So he has to kill it stone dead where the 6 is. Well, he's not killing it stone dead, he's running through it. Well, he's got a shot. He's got an easy combo up the table when it comes to it, so he doesn't need to worry about that. But now he has to worry, because it's pretty much the point of no return for Semipro. He's made nothing so far with his chances he's had, and now he's got one good chance to construct something here. And it's a tall order. The pressure is on. He's going to take the 5 now that he's got the chance of it, I think. Well, that would be, well, Cobra says crap, but I still think he got it. He got it wrong a shot before that, though. I mean, more than obvious he was going to hit the 10, and he didn't take enough evasive action on it to get away from it. Avoid hitting it at all costs. As long as you can get the cue ball up the table somewhere, there's still a chance you could have done something there to get a break, but that's where it all went wrong. So it's given Semipro a chance. And Semipro might have thought he wasn't going to get back to the table. So this will be the sign of the true champion. If he can dig himself out this hole. He's trailing by 70. And we are about 3 minutes short of the hour. And where's the break ball? 9 ball, no good. 13 again at the top of the pack. 4 ball is in no man's land. And it's looking possibly likely that he's going to be playing a long break shot. I can see that coming straight away here, because he's going to play that ball to get to the 4. And the chances are he's going to leave himself somewhere here to play this break shot. The pot is going to be a blind pot, and so he's thinking 2 things: to hit the pack as well as get the pot, and that's where he could have trouble. It's not going to be easy, and unless he risks trying to get up the table. But the other problem is he's dead straight, so it's a big firm stunt, and this is where the scenario comes about. He's got a really tough break shot. This is not easy in this circumstances. He can't afford to miss, and he's missed, and he's broke the pack, and that may well be it. And I could see it coming. It was written on the cards with that always going to be a long break shot. You don't want long break shots. You want to get it neat and close as you can, so you get a much better eye line to make the pot, and that was just asking too much, especially knowing what the consequences are. You're guaranteed you're going to break the pack. You're guaranteed that if you miss the pot, then it's Merry Christmas, Cobra. And Cobra will be taking his time. Plenty of time in the shot clocks. You've got a minute shot clock, and you've got 2 extensions. And all Cobra needs to do is just mind his work, as John Pulman used to say, although people of a certain age won't know that. All Cobra needs to do is just keep it neat and tidy and just add the points. Simple enough combo on that 8 and whatever it is. Is it the 12? Yeah, easy enough to make that. There's no worries there. You can just cut that 8 back onto the 12, and the 12 goes in every day of the week. Well, Semi-Pro's given up. He's in the stream. He thinks it's all over. Well, Cobra's done one main objective in the visits that he's had. In each visit that he's had, I think the main scoring ones, he's scored better than his average for the tournament. And you can't ask for much more than that, because it just, it just builds up the score. Whereas it's been the opposite for Semi-Pro. Every contribution Semi-Pro's had hasn't made the grade. Well short on his average for the tournament. And that's why the score's as it is. And there's a little breakout. You might as well take that chance when you've got the angle. But Cobra has made a couple of errors. Any other day it could have ended up being closer, but things haven't fallen into place for Semi-Pro. Left himself that tough break shot. I knew it was going to be tough, leaving that ball up the table. And then, of course, the worst thing happened. He ended up dead straight on that second last ball, which left him no option but to leave himself playing that long break. And under pressure, and knowing what the consequences may well be, it was just one shot too many. It could be the 7 ball as a break ball. It looks favourite. It's obviously not quite in the middle diamond in the bottom rail, but it's in a reasonable place if you want to get up the table and play the 13 as the second last ball. It's easy to get good in the 7. Well, I think it's the worst you've played since the match against Larry. Not quite as far back as that Semi-Pro. I mean, especially late on in the match, where you couldn't get a score either at that time. Well, what's it to be? It would have been leave that 13 ball to get down onto the 7. But he's going to play the 8 if he can get straight. Just, again, kill it stone dead. Leave that angle in the 7. And he's going to hit probably the corner of the pack. Well, this is where you just focus totally in the pot. The cue ball's going to do the rest. But he doesn't want to be too soft in this. He could end up locked up. Cue balls came out. He's got a shot. 10 ball definitely goes. He says confidently before he goes down and has a look at it. Yep, it goes. I think that's all he's got though. He's not got much else to choose from. It's going to be the 10. And he needs to make sure that well, the worst thing that's going to happen here is he's going to be on the 1. So, this visit goes to 16. And Cobra is 34 away from the final. We've also got a good break ball in place, and we've also got a backup on the left side rail. If fact, you know, the 6 ball isn't great, but that 4 ball or the 5, if it comes to it, and the 1 are all in decent enough positions. But he's got to, well, right now he could take the 9 and get rid of the 4 if he's going to leave the 5. But he has to get rid of one of them because, again, they're blocking balls in one way or another. A little nudge in the 5 takes care of that. He's on the 6, and now he's looking good. But now he needs to get up the table and get rid of what's up there. See, right now he's working both ends of the table. He's still got to consider what's up there. You've got the 3 ball up there, the 15 there. 15 could be the ball to get rid of, to get onto that 4. The danger here is to start moving this cue ball to get up the table, where you start it running. Now he's in no man's land. He can take the 15 and he can come across for the 3. He's going to leave the high cut in the 3. Well, he's not got there, so he's no intention of taking the 3. And now he has to get good on the 2 then, if he's going to leave the 3 as the ball to get to the 4. Well, this is threatening to go pear-shaped here. I still say he should have been up the table a lot sooner than what he is now. And he's left himself the bedhead cut in the 3 ball. And this cue ball is going to go down the table to this bottom rail and back up the middle of the table. I would think the line that he's got here, he's got to let the cue ball run. And that's going to go towards the 4. It's going to be parallel. So this, well, it's critical. It's a blind cut. He's going to do damage. This is Semi-Pro's lifeline, if there's going to be one. But in goes the 4, and in goes the cue ball, and Semi-Pro lives again, but he's 90 points behind. The run ends in 27. The cue ball is scratched off the pack. And, well, Cobra should have got rid of those balls up the table. Should not have left it in that position to get to the break ball. Well, this is it, make or break, life or death from this visit. But it's a long road back. And immediate problems is the 3 and 9. Let's have a look. But as long as the 5 goes out the way and the 4 goes out the way and the 13 goes out the way, then that 3 ball goes anyway. Well, it's going to be the 11 and the 7, I would think. And that 8 and 15 are a problem. Now he can do a little nudge here, but this is always risky because, again, you're not in control of where the cue ball's going to end up. Could easily have just dropped straight into that 9 and 3 and had nothing. And we've still got a problem. And now it's going to be the 12 and the 7, the 8 I would say. And this is... Now he's going to take the 5 instead. Well, he's got to make sure that he misses everything here if he's going to come around the corner and back into the table. And he has missed everything. He can now take the 9, which it would be acceptable as a break ball, although it's at the top of the pack again. But sometimes you have to make do with what's there. So he's going to... Well, I thought he would have taken the 9 to break those 2 balls, because he hasn't dropped on any of them. And running out of options here. But he can go through and get rid of the 4. Does that... No, that's too tight. He's got to take the 4. Now, if he does a little stun onto the 3, he might create a better break ball here. He might want to pinch a bit here. Where's the 3 gone? It's gone into the pack. Well, this is not ideal, but it could be a ball into the middle pocket from the low side. You know, he could be here to take that in there. He could be here to take that in there and get into the pack. So he has a choice as to how he's intending to play this break shot. But if he's going to play that 13, he has to get to here. He has to leave that angle. If he's going to do that, well, he's going the other way. He's trying to do the same thing from the other side, and that will do. And he's going to have to just jack the cue a wee bit, just get that tip below the equator. Doesn't want to be playing a draw. He wants to get this a firm stun. Hit that 6 ball, and he's locked up. He's locked stone dead. And he's got a bailout though. It's going to be tricky. And if he uses 9 balls tip of the day, he jacks the cue up and uses that shaft as a line to make the pot. Use your W key. Well, he's run it straight through. Well, that was a lucky escape there. And I think he can see the 3. Can also see the 12. This is dangerous again. If he gets aggressive here, there's no knowing where the cue ball will end up. Well, this time he's going to have to dig out a pot because there's nothing there for him. He's got a thin cut in the 12. Cue ball again running around the corner. He's got the, well, I think it's the 13 for the 8 or the 4. So it's a struggle here for Semipro. What's he done here? Is he going to get the gap? No, he hasn't got there, and now he's under pressure big time and trying to create something out of this. I mean, he's got a thin cut in the 4 with the danger of the scratch. Cue ball comes out into the table. He should still see the 8 or the 12, but this cue ball is in danger of the scratch. And it's not an easy cut to start with. And again, he's lost shape. It's a nasty cut on the 8 ball. And he's just struggling big time to hold this together. And it's just not falling into place. Everything that he's left now is slightly awkward. He's got the 5. Can do a little nudge. Didn't want to get too greedy here though. But if he, well, he's played the stun and draw. You can take the 10 again and do something similar here, just to open up that 15 and 7 ball. And now he's back in reasonable shape. He's got the 15 as a break ball and a much easier ball to get good in the 15. So he's got a fair chance of progressing here as long as he takes them in the right order. He wants to leave that 1 or the 6 as his ball to get onto that 15. But he sees it different. He's looking at the 15 now. Oh, I think he's thinking about it, but to me, I'd be leaving it that 1 and 6 as my options to drop good onto that 15. You don't want to be running off rails to get to a break shot. You want to be just rolling through. Make your life as simple as possible to get there. He can take the 12, run into the table, take the 7. If he wants to take the 12 up the table, looks as if he's taking the 7 up the table. But to me, it's easier to take the 12 and take the 7. Now he's left himself a wee bit more fiddly on the 12. I would have taken the 12. To me, it was far easier just to pot the 12 up there and let the cue ball just run to there to take that other ball into the corner. This he's running the cue ball again. I still think he should have taken that 12 up the table. It was much, much easier to just run the cue ball into the middle of the table, take that 7 into this bottom left corner pocket rather than up the table. He's got away with it. The little nudge has done him no harm. Although, how good can he get in the 1? Well, it's going to be the 1 then as a break ball. 15 is ideal where it was sitting. And as he got out, he's left it short again. And another big pressure pot here for Semipro. The run is 28. He's a mile behind. And every break shot like this could be his last shot. And it goes. 7 balls come into play. 1 ball or 9 balls down the table, so he's back in business. But that was hard work, that last rack. But he got through it, and it all starts again. We've got loads of blocking balls here down this bottom end of the table. We've got the, what's that in the middle? We've got the 11 and the 12 stuck together here in the middle of the pack. Again, just running the cue ball to try and improve it. He's now created another problem though. He's now going to try and draw into those 2, the 2 and the 3. He's missed that. And now he's got major problems here. He can break open those 2 balls that are in the cluster there in the middle with this 8 ball, but he's got a major problem in the bottom rail with not, as you would say, an adjacent ball to get to those the 2 and 3. He can cut the 4. but he's not going to get into this 2 and 3 from that. So now he's going to take the 15. I think he's run too far for the 15. He would have liked to have been straight on it, because that would have been the shot that would have allowed him to run into the 2 and 3 with the cue ball. He might be trying something off the 10. He's missed them. Where's the cue ball? Oh, disaster. Running the cue ball pays the big penalty. You can't take that risk on this table. We've seen it umpteen times till we're blue in the face, and the run ends in 32. And Cobra, back at the table, is going to deal with this problem right now. Off the 15. He's got to be on a shot anyway, so he's going to take the little pot and the little stunt into the 3 and the 2, and that takes care of that. Now we have, again, a blocking ball. That 12 ball is blocking the path for the 14 into this pocket. The 14 has to go probably up the table. The 12 ball is middle to the bottom of the pack. It's not bad as a break ball, but that 14's no good there. Does that squeeze past? Definitely not. Now he can drop across. He'll be on the 3. He can take the 2 and drop across and try and get rid of that 14 from this shot. It's dangerous because he's heading towards the pocket. But he's got there. And again, taking care of the problem. Well, he should be taking care of the problem. He should be getting rid of that 14 right now. And then he can get rid of the 11 or the 10. And he's now looking good. He's on 1-3-1. He's 19 away from the final. Well, I would think he's got to come back. He's got to make the decision. Is it the 6 ball or is it the 12 on the right side? Because if it's the 6, then he's going to take the 12 and get rid of the 3. It could be the 3 ball, but the problem with the 3 ball is he's right in the far corner of the pack here. So that then means that he's got an angle to get to the 3, but the problem is that angle goes through the corner of the pack. He's got to make sure that he doesn't block himself off here. He wants to stop the cue ball. He's not going to be high enough here, maybe. Let's have a look. He's going to have to dig this out. He's a bit shallow. He's just caught that 12 ball. I think he's blocked himself out here. He's going to have to cut the 4 or drop the 15 into the middle, because he's blocked out for that top corner by the 2. And the 4 ball is a little bit fiddly. So this is a little tester. Whatever one he chooses, 15 into the middle. He'll be running into the 11, and he's bound to be on a ball. But the 4 is another little tester. You just basically have to get this online. and let the cue ball run. Well, I think he's tried to use too much, but he's cheated that a mile and it's still gone in. As long as you give it the pace and it gives it every opportunity to drop, any harder that wouldn't have went in. He's only 12 away. And they're all here, although he's going to have to open the cluster, but they're all there to win the match at this visit. And the only thing that this visit is going to do for Cobra is going to drop his average. Because he won't be able to get to 33. But it'll only drop his average by 0.0 something. Those other contributions have upped his average, so now he can open the cluster. And this is the match winning shot here right now, as long as he's open up nice. Where's the cue ball going to end up though? I think he's okay. That little brush just gets him on the 13. 9 away. But he's still going to need something in amongst those balls there. I think he's gone too straight on the 7. Has he? Or has he got enough angle on it? He's got a little angle. He can pinch it just to nudge into the 6. Or he's just dropping onto the 8. Whichever he's happy with. In fact, he doesn't need to now that that's away, because that opens the two of them up anyway. So what's he on? 7 away. Well, all Cobra's done is done what's been expected, to make contributions on each visit you get. And that hasn't happened for Semipro. So Semipro's reign as the VP4 straight pool world champion is going to come to an end. But he's still looking very likely that he may well still hold the high run by the end of the tournament, because it's a tall order to beat that 179. So it's going to be the 2 and the 15 down the rail for the match. And so it's Cobra is going to go through to play Larry in the 2020 VP4 World Straight Pool Championships. And Cobra is living up to his stats. And because he's done no harm to his stats there with that result. And if we look at the bracket, we will see that it's going to be Larry. It should have updated, I would think. It's going to be Larry and Cobra, and that match is to be played by February the 5th. So hopefully that can get done when I'm around. And well, it's been the worst 2 matches for Semi-Pro in the tournament have all happened at the wrong time. Because, well, really not necessarily getting to the one-loss side, but the last 2 matches are where Semi-Pro has just failed to score. It just hasn't gone into place for him. And Cobra just did what was asked. You just got to score when you have that chance. and he's going through to meet Larry, and hopefully I can drop a few hints to Cobra, not to set it at 9 o'clock at night on my working day, hopefully not. So anyway guys, that is it. Hopefully I can get the final. I'm relying on Cobra and Larry to set something. Hopefully on my day off, that would be ideal, because then it doesn't matter when they want to play it. And hopefully I can get it. So with that, thank you for your company, guys. Thanks for watching. Unlucky Semi-Pro. And well done to Cobra, because that's his second big tournament final, I think. Or is it his third? Because he's obviously... he's won one of them. And he lost that one to Keith. And now he's got another bite at the cherry against Larry. So I am going to go and get a cup of coffee. I hope to see you again soon, hopefully for the final. But that is out with my control. So till we meet again, guys, take care, stay safe, wear your mask, and I will see you again soon. I'll bid you good afternoon.